What's up, people? I haven't made a video in a while. Been on a little bit of a break. So, I don't know what I'm going to call this video, but I do know what the topic matter is going to be. And that is the inferior social construct and philosophy, if you will. Well, not so much philosophy, but just social construct of black women. Because there's, a lot of stuff that I hear, and hell, maybe there's a black woman who will hear this video and it'll help them out. And one thing that I'll say off top, even though I'll get to this later, black women are too nice. And it's kind of crazy because black women are always perceived as angry, aggressive, masculine, and whatnot. But in the overall spirit of things, it's kind of crazy how society works out. White women that are looked at as soft and angelic and feminine naturally and this, that, and the third, they're actually hostile. I've dated both. White women are hostile. They are totally territorial. For example, just look at the whole debate that goes on back and forth between black women and biracial women. There's something that kills me. Even though you could consider me somewhat of a man who's went his own way, and it's kind of like this, the woman that I date, she's black, she's black, but at the same time, I do consider myself a mid-toe dating. It's kind of like when you're a mid-toe dating, you date a woman, but it's like you live in your room and I live in mine. I will come over there for sex. Like, really. It's kind of like we're roommates, and I will just keep it real with you. It really is like we're roommates. Me and the woman that I, date and live together. We have a place together down south, but it really is a roommate thing. I guess that's what you could consider to be a mid-toe dating. But like I said, black women, they're not hostile. And the reason why I say that is because there's a YouTuber. As a matter of fact, I think I might try to use her. I might try to use her image as a thumbnail. What I'm going to do is go to her community post. If she ever has if she's the type of YouTuber that posts up her picture, then she probably won't mind me using it. And shout out to her. But at the same time, she's helplessly hood. I think she openly admits that she's a thought and that she's ghetto. But the thing that I'll say about that, even though none of it is good, is that at least she's honest. At least she's honest, and that's Flower Tower. There is no need in trying to look up that video. Look up her channel. There's literally no need in trying to do it, because that's a word, Flower Tower. She needs to change her name. That word is associated with botany, and you can actually make a flower tower of flowers in your house. So, if you look up Flower Tower, you're not gonna find her. I can guarantee you're not gonna find her. You're gonna run into a bunch of botany videos, and a lot of the times, shadow ban be lurking. I ain't gonna lie. Just like my mans and them, J be lurking. You know, there's a channel called J be lurking. But Shadow Man be lurking, and he be just listening. You know, I be just listening. You know, did I just say he? I do not refer to myself in the third person, but, you know, I be lurking, and I just be listening to people. And most of the time, 90% of the times, I don't comment on people's videos, if not 95% of the time. But I just be studying, and, you know, I'm a studying and analytical person. And it's so easy to identify black women's problems. And the fact of the matter is that you share spaces too much. And black women, I don't know if it's an intelligence thing or what, but it's like they don't get it socially. Let me start off and I'm going to explain how black women suffer in 3 different areas. Colorism, down lowism from black men who are gay and bisexual, that fool with black women behind their backs and don't inform them that he's gay, even though in many cases they should know. They should just about know. And did I say colorism? And oh yeah, you know, the whole biracialism thing. I guess you could kind of put that with colorism or whatever. But just colorism and gayism. Number one, whenever you allow, let's start off with, I don't know, let me do a mental toss-up. I'll just say the gay shit, okay? Let's start with the gay shit. You can't use their language. You can't. And this is space protection. This is identity and gender protection. There can only be one black woman. That's it. You can't allow terms to even exist like cisgendered and all that type of stuff. Sissy, like, what the living hell does any of that mean any damn way? You know, and it's like, I agree with the black women that say, look, I am just the woman, period. Don't even look. It should be that, look, if you're a female, I consider that language hostile and just about the same thing as racist. You know, if you can't so-called misgender a transsexual, then you can't misrace me, okay? I'm a black woman, and that's it. Don't attach nothing else to it until I develop somewhat of a tribal name, you know, like Carbarian women, you know, carbonated American. Until you develop a tribal name, I am the only black woman, and I am light brown to pitch black with 4C hair most of the time. I may have 4-1. That's it. That's all. That's how you supposed to handle that situation. And see, the thing of it is that I be looking at Flower Tower Channel, and I'll notice there'll be a tranny or a gay dude, usually a tranny, that'll pop up in the comment section, and she will heart the video. She'll heart the comment or like the comment, despite the fact that the content of her video, just like so many black women, is that she's attempting to defend black female space. It doesn't make no sense. And what happens with black women and black people, but in this particular case, black women, is that you allow that person. The reason why that tranny commented is that they win. See, you don't get it. I'm a man. And underneath that dress, I'm going to tell you, they winning just by making you engage. Just by getting you to engage. Whenever you say cis women, you're admitting on the other end that somebody with a dick underneath a damn dress and some fake titties is a damn woman. By default, you've created two spaces. You've created two women. And I don't get it how it is that black women, more than any group of women on the earth, are stolen from, robbed from, hijacked, appropriated, can't get jobs because of their hair, gotta sit up there getting alopecia, putting weave and perms and all that stuff in their head, and just create more and more and more problems for themselves. It's an IQ issue, man, and it's incredible to look at. It's absolutely incredible. Like you're playing the game, and you shouldn't play the game because it ain't rigged for you to win. Jesus Christ. Now let's move on to the colorism thing, and let me show you how they lose yet again. This is how they lose in the whole colorism thing. They be sitting up there talking about unambiguous black women, and there you go again. Biracial women are biracial. That's it. Biracial people are biracial. You don't allow somebody who ain't clearly goddamn black like you, or who ain't wholly and completely black like you, to come up in there and share spaces, because she is by default from a group that is considered to be in the social hierarchy above you. So that name, so the term black has just got to apply to you. They gotta shove her out and tell her, bitch, establish your own name. Mixed is mixed. That is what it is. And niggas be saying that, but you don't put enough foundation. You don't put enough force behind it. You don't put enough power behind it. And they can't rely upon their men, not with a 70% out of wedlock birth rate. You don't care to marry them, so this right here is about as much as you're going to get from a black man. You got to figure these things out on your own. And see, the thing of it is, this is what happens. I refer to it as political racial scavenging. That's what these other groups do. And what happens is this. Every lowly member of another group, like for example, I used to believe that Evelyn Lozada, who called OG a monkey or something like that, I used to believe that Evelyn Lozada was a black woman. It wasn't until I looked up her damn parents that I said, hell no, this bitch is an Indian or something. She's like a Taino, I don't know what she is, but she's a Latino, and she's part of whatever native Indian groups that the Latinos came out of, and there's a whole bunch of different ones. I ain't trying to figure it out, but I do know that she's not a black woman. But that's just how much space they share, and they allow it. It's kind of like this. You know, that was a letter written not too long ago, well, that was a racist email that was written at the University of Massachusetts. And it had a lot of bigotry in it. You can Google it and, try to find it yourself. It had a lot of the typical little bigotry and all that shit in it. But one particular thing that stuck out to me in the email, if you bother to look it up, You can Google search racist email UMass, University of Massachusetts, Amherst. And the letter had in it one particular part, like I said, it had a lot of little typical racist talking points. But one part of it said that between the whites, Hispanics, and Asians, and everybody else, that they wouldn't associate with the black people at all, and that you don't have no choice talking to the black student body but to desperately go and beg to be part of every other group. That, without this whole diversity and inclusion thing, there would literally be no engagement with you. The world would be a better place without you, and I think you all should be sterilized. This is what the racist letter said. And, at times I tend to kind of think to myself that black people are just scared to, live on their own and exist on their own. And I ain't saying take off, nationalism, we need this state, this, that, and the third. That shit ain't happening, man. Ain't nobody giving you no state. That's just high ideal dreaming, like going back to Africa and all that shit. Ain't nobody giving you no state and all that stuff. It's just a dream and a fantasy. But you can do but what prevents us from doing the same thing is like the Chinese do. Like Chinatown, even the Nigerians. Yeah, and, Jamaica Town and all these other places. What prevents you? You know what I'm saying? Especially in areas where black people are minorities, big time minorities. I mean, we're already minorities, but where we represent much less than 12% of the population. Like in some little area where the black folks is only 3 or 4%, why don't we have our own stuff? And, it kind of goes back to black women doing this space sharing. And see, I'm going to tell you what happens. What I refer to, and I kind of got off topic, as racial political scavenging. Every ugly mofo from another group, every reject, every beat down gay person, broke person, ugly person, are just people who are just scoundrels from their individual groups or whatever. They can come among you, and there's one thing, see, in the social hierarchy, they're higher than you, but they're not that high up in their own group. And what happens is that whenever they come to your group, they end up being a low-ranking member of another group, but a default high-ranking member in your group, and it's just too tempting. It's too tempting. I ain't gonna lie. If I was some type of Asian who was considered dark-skinned, like a Taiwanese or something, I'll just say, fuck it. I'll just go get me some box braids. If I was a girl, and I was an ugly Asian girl and didn't nobody want me and I ain't have no shape, I'll just go get some box braids and boom, I'm on top of the black female order. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And if I lose a little weight, shit, I'm really gonna knock them out the box. And the same thing applies to the men also. Some loser-ass dude who's like an Arab or, like an Arab or some loser Latino dude who's, considered a dark-skinned Latino, and everybody always calls him black because he listens to rap too much. Fuck it, I'm just go among the Negroes. And my Latino status would give me, a certain amount of love, favor, and, whites prefer Hispanics and Latinos above blacks, so that automatically places me as an exceptional, high-ranking member of the black group. And this is what's happening, and it's a pandemic of the shit happening. It's an absolute pandemic of it happening. It's happening all over the place. It happens more with the women But you seen it with Obama. You know, you see it with so many other, mixed dudes also, who always get appointed the first black. You'll always notice that some black person or some mixed person is always the first black whatever. And that's what you call racial political scavenging. But, yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Black women share space too much. And what that does also, and last and final thing I'll say, is that makes it to where loser-ass dudes that are gay, who are white and Latin and Asian and all that shit, man, they can put on a damn dress and there are literally Taiwanese men who their little bodies are so small and they so little and they so petite. These dudes be getting box braids and dressing up like ghetto thoughts and calling themselves a black woman. And what he'll do is put on some damn shades and go hanging out with black females. And black females will not only know that this person is not black, but they'll also know that this person is not even female. And they'll just be girl, girl, girl. Oh, look at her, girl. Like, you bros are crazy, man. You are absolutely nuts. And then to come to the internet and complain about this shit, the only thing I can say is it's an IQ issue. It just has to be. It's sad, man. It's your man, Shadow Man. I'm out.